All right, good morning. All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the AIA Fort Worth Awards Ceremony. I would like to thank each and every one of our sponsors: Fort Construction, Bennett Partners, VLK, Komatsu Architecture, Beck, and Pella. Let's have a round of applause, please. We would also like to thank our very first WIA sponsor, who would like to remain anonymous, to send one person to the WIA conference in Chicago this year. AIA holds this annual conference in the fall for our chapter, and they send 2 women to attend, and we would like to invite anybody out there the opportunity to send a second attendee. I would also like to recognize, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting to, this is me. This is me. So we'll get to that. We'd like to thank those who've contributed to our success, the 2025 Executive Committee. If you'd like to each stand, anybody that's here, and have a round of applause for each of you. Thank you. Unfortunately, let's see, Matt Hare cannot make it this morning, so I'm going to introduce just the award winners for the construction for 2024. The theme was 1999. We'll go with VLK, the Tin Giant, for Best Overall Design. Best Meal, Friesen Nichols, I'm Ready to End Hunger. I might be off. Structural Ingenuity, Hood Zollers, Y2 Construction. Best Use of Labels, Rogue Architects, End Hunger, One Bite at a Time. Most Cans, Hewitt Zollers, Y2 Construction. And People's Choice for Friesen Nichols, I'm Ready to End Hunger. Thank you each and everybody. We look forward to bringing, for the next one, When Cans Attack this fall. Okay. Now I'd like to introduce the 2024 President, Sarah San Miguel.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah San Miguel, your 2024 president. I have to start with saying what an honor it was to serve as your president the past year. It was a great opportunity for me, and I can't say that I could have done it without the people on the screen, the board here, supporting our chapter, making decisions for our chapter, for the betterment of our chapter, and investing their personal time to make us better and to represent our profession. This award is a award of my choosing. I kind of got to pick whoever I wanted to give it to, kind of like that kind of power. But I definitely wanted to give it to the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth. They have worked with us for a number of years and collaborated on many projects. We have some new programming coming up this year for Architects Day to work with K through 12 kids to build Box City. We're going to have it on display here at the Modern. Also want to take a moment to honor Terry Thornton and her work that she has done with us over the years, and we look forward to continuing to work with Tiffany Wolf. Here today to accept the award is Tiffany Wolf, so a round of applause for the Modern Art Museum. And next up is Chris Calvert. He is the Honors Awards Chair. He will be leading. I lost my water. One of these is fine.
Thank you, Sarah. The Honor Awards are given each year as a way to recognize outstanding contributions to our chapter and in our city. Our first award today is Quality in Construction Award. This award recognizes and honors a person or group for their constant search for quality and fine work, not simply competent execution, but work which comes from excellent judgment, skill, and care in the process. McElroy and Falls has been in business since 1979 and will celebrate 46 years in business this year. They are a local commercial general contractor that serves clients who value quality and service. They strive to create an environment in transformational growth for all stakeholders and the communities in which they build. Here to accept the award is Taylor Hale, President, McElroy and Falls. Our next award is Excellence in Sustainable Development Award, established to recognize and honor an individual or organization for their commitment to a more sustainable built environment. Located in far southwest Fort Worth, approaching Crowley, the Vivian J. Lincoln Library is one of the first civic community buildings in the area. As this developing community seems to be rapidly losing its rural character, the design of the library aims to preserve that history by creating symbiosis between the natural and the built. Native landscapes, bioswales, walking trails, and complementary building materials ground the building in its context, providing a flexible outdoor space designed to accommodate concerts, movie nights, playtime, or even a farmer's market. Inside, the inspiration of nature is evident throughout with warm wood features and soft greens and blues. The treetop-inspired central lantern feature fills the space with natural light and gives room for the imagination to run wild. The building's design resulted in a 57% energy use reduction over the AIA baseline and is set up for future plug-and-play integration of a rainwater collection system and PV array capable of supplying over half of the building's energy demand. Here to accept the award is Douglas Mullen at HKS. The Community Award for contributing to the promotion, understanding, appreciation, and advancement of architecture goes to the Community Design Fort Worth, which exists to serve as a resource and advocate for empowering community members, design professionals, and decision makers to enhance the quality of life in Fort Worth. Here to accept this award is Ann Zeta and Randy Hutchison. The Young Professional Award in recognition of extraordinary and continual application of abilities and energies in service to the profession to accomplish the goals of the American Institute of Architects. Alexei Dukov. Alexei has served in various committees and board positions since graduating from UTA in 2015, most recently as liaison to TXA and now president-elect. As a past recipient of the Charles R. Adams Scholarship, Alexei wanted to contribute back into the architectural community of the city where he has lived most of his life. Alexei strives to help highlight the good work of our colleagues and elevate the voice of architects. Alexei Dukov. James R. Wooten Service Award. This award honors the AIA Fort Worth member who best exemplifies the characteristics of sustained, consistent, and effective service in accomplishing the goals of the chapter. Mark Dabney has been an active member of the chapter since 1993, where he immediately began serving as the TXA Education Student Liaison until 1999, when he became the Associate Board Member. Locally, Mark chaired the TXA Conference Committee in 1993, in 1998, and 2003. In 2001, Mark began serving various VP roles on the local board until he became president in 2004. Mark has played a key role in the development of the Young Architects Forum and Associates Committee, as well as several design competitions. Today, Mark helps facilitate local tours for the chapter and hosts firm crawls for emerging professionals. Mark began his professional career at KVG and is now a principal at Boca Powell here in Fort Worth. Mark's very sorry he could not be here today, but is very honored to receive this award. Now we have Certificate of Appreciation for spirit of cooperation with the architectural community and for outstanding contributions to the environment and citizens of Fort Worth, Texas. Megan Shaw. Megan is the area director for the South Central region for Safe Rise and has been involved with AIA Fort Worth for almost 20 years, where she has had the privilege of contributing to various initiatives that support women in construction, as well as helping architects with elevator designs. Being a part of AIA Fort Worth has allowed her to connect with like-minded professionals, foster growth in the construction field, and help connect women in the construction industry through various events. Jonathan Kratz. Jonathan, representing USGBC Texas, has collaborated on numerous conferences and educational events, bridging architecture, sustainability, and resilience, including presenting conference sessions, hosting standalone CEU events, as well as full-day conferences with other partners to social events like the annual Gingerbread Build-Off. Chris Morris. Chris is a senior project architect for Aspen Group. Chris joined the AIA shortly after receiving licensure in 2015 while living in California. His involvement at the time was limited to a few local chapter events and meetings. Since relocating to Texas, he's had the honor and privilege to serve on the AIA Fort Worth Board as secretary, treasurer, and currently VP of Education. Courtney Tate. Courtney is a proud graduate of TCU, joining the Steele and Freeman team in 2018. That same year, she began volunteering with the AIA Fort Worth, joining the committees for the annual clay shoot and golf tournament. Now as Director of Marketing for SFI, Courtney has continued to stay involved with the AIA Fort Worth, supporting its events and initiatives. Honorary membership for a spirit of cooperation with the community for outstanding contributions to the environment and for support of the aims of the profession. Mike Brennan. Mike is president of Near Southside, Inc., the nonprofit economic and community development organization leading the revitalization of Fort Worth's historic Near Southside. Mike worked in the city of Fort Worth's planning development prior to joining NSI and has served on the board of directors for the Fort Worth Transportation Authority and on the Fort Worth City Plan Commission. In 2015, Mike served on the board for AIA Fort Worth as a public member director, where he led a design competition in conjunction with ULI. Mike was also a founding leader of Fort Worth's bike sharing system and continues to be closely involved with its expansion. the 25-year award. The test of time is used to single out the executed projects designed by an architect licensed in the United States and which are important local architectural works whose significance is enduring over time. Upon forming their firm, Lake Flato, in the mid-'80s, one of their first award-winning projects was a ranch house near Falfurrias, Texas, owned by Molly and Garland Lassiter. The residence, southwest of Corpus Christi, included a rooftop glass lantern, which was early evidence of the firm's sensitivity to energy and environment. This 1994 Lassiter residence, the second project for the same clients, is on a quiet sloping site on the west side of Fort Worth on an almost private cul-de-sac, which terminates with a singular collection of intimate forms deftly terraced into the existing draw. After 8 early design schemes, the owners proposed a trip to Japan with the architect to study the relationship between Japanese courtyard houses and their siding and landscape work. As built, the house embodies essentially a Spanish courtyard typology in hybrid with Eastern forms. Detailing includes large limestone massing surrounding the central courtyard, interior streets, stone tiles, copper roofs, and Japanese chain drains. Existing crepe myrtles were protected during construction and placed back in the central court. It was the first and to date only project in Fort Worth to receive a National AIA Design Award, which it received in 1997. Lake Flato is currently assisting with master planning on the proposed Fort Worth Northside Trinity River Vision project. Please welcome architect and 2024 AIA National Gold Medalist Ted Flato, FAIA, and clients Molly and Garland Lassiter to the stage. Say something, please.
Is it okay if I say a few words? An incredible honor to be here and for you to honor this house that is so near and dear to me. It was an incredibly joyful collaboration, and it wasn't just joyful collaboration with Molly and Gar. It was with a number of wonderful designers and makers who we continued to collaborate with for many, many years afterwards. And I want to recognize Rosa Finsley, the incredibly talented landscape architect. It was all about the landscape, so it was critical that we had such a great partner. Rosa continued after, this was the very first project we collaborated with together, and we continued to do so many great projects over the years, and so grateful for that. And then Mike Resnikoff here, the incredible craftsman, maker. This house was all about wood and how the wood came together and how you kept it together. And Mike we were so lucky to get to have you be part of the team, and Mike continued to also be a longtime collaborator. I'm going to take up a little bit more time. So the Lassiters were, as you just said, they were basically our first clients. And that very modest ranch house in South Texas, it was more 10th and house, we like to say, sent us on a solid trajectory that architecture ought to be particular to its place and ought to be all about the environment and shaped by the environment. And when it came time to do the house here in town a number of years later, the site was challenging. It was this incredible slope and this very interesting ravine. It was all filled with fabulous trees, and then it was perched above the Trinity River. And so after a number of unsuccessful iterations where we were trying to force a shape onto that site, Gar said, the Japanese seem to kind of be able to handle these complex spaces. And so off we went on that journey to Japan. And from that trip, which was so marvelous to have these were close friends by this time, because we had created really an incredible bond on that very first house. But the second house they knew to question and to push. And so in going and coming back from Japan after admiring some of this great work in Kyoto that was all about borrowed landscape or walls that edited space out, or most importantly, the power of a place that would be immersed in the landscape, we came back with a common language. And the house pretty much kind of wrote itself after that, I like to say, maybe 13 iterations later. But we ultimately created something that was truly a collaboration, and a collaboration with friends and longtime wonderful clients. And I cannot be more grateful to Molly and Garland. And so this honor for their house is just huge. And so thank you, Fort Worth AIA and Mark Gunderson, for remembering that this house is still standing. So thank you very much.
That was wonderful. Thank you, guys. Lastly, I want to recognize the Honor Awards Committee members. Thank you, everyone, for your service. And that concludes the Honor Awards, and we will hand this off to the always smiling Brandon Burns for the Student Design Awards.
Yeah, when they told me I was going to speak at this, they didn't say I was going on after Ted Flato. So that's a little bit of a change there, but no, thank you for this. The AIA Fort Worth Student Design Awards are treated just like we do our professional design awards. We send out a call for entry to all the accredited architecture schools in the state of Texas, and a jury of 3 architects. Next, please. Reviews all the submissions anonymously, so they don't know who the students are, they don't know where the schools are from. It's just judged basically purely on the images provided and the work submitted to it. I've been doing this, and I think the chapter's been doing this since 2011, so as I was kind of prepping for this, I realized that the students recognized today were probably in kindergarten when we first started doing this, and that just makes me feel old. So, but more than anything, the projects are awarded with 2 different levels, just like our professional awards. We have merit awards and honor awards. And one of my heroes got to be, was Jim Cutler, who was a juror on one of our professional design awards several years back. And he had a great way to describe it to his other jurors, what we're looking for. And I'm taking his words a little bit out of context, but he said the merit awards were basically work that stood out amongst everything that was submitted and showed excellence in design and execution. And to come that from someone like him was great. Honor award is something that he wished he would have done. Right? So it's a good way to think about it. But I think unlike our professional awards, the student design awards who get an honor award also get a $500 scholarship. This year we received submissions from, I just like to go through this list because I'm always amazed by the breadth of schools that we get work from. UT Arlington, UT Austin, University of Houston, Texas Tech, UTSA, Texas Tech El Paso, Prairie View. And the only one that didn't get anything from A&M, so I don't know where the Aggies were at this year, but they've had a good showing in the past few years. So let's get on to the awards, I guess. The first award we have this year, and I believe a lot of the students are here, so please come down and accept your award when we announce it. The first award is Third Ward Community. Is a merit award for Zulima Ayon, Olivia Bias, Olivia Salinas, and James Strain. And a quote from one of the jurors, Ashley Hood, said, "Third Ward Community Project very thoughtfully weaves garden spaces throughout a suburban neighborhood and seamlessly blends nature with urban living while fostering meaningful connections between residents through the use of communal courtyards." Our next merit award is Brickborn by Vittorio Covarrubias and Ali Nourani from University of Houston. Juror Marshall Strawn quoted, "This project applies adaptive reuse through the use of ruin and creates a journey for visitors to move through the history of this historic site. The sectional experience of the gallery space through the use of large light wells creates a dramatic and effective experience." Our next award is an honor award, and it's for the Cloud Forest Research Station by Beatrice Lum from the University of Texas at Austin. Juror Audrey Maxwell quoted, "This project was thoughtful and well-crafted. I appreciated the prioritization of the user experience and could imagine inhabiting the building, enjoying the forest views and the quality of light. The consideration for the interiors was noteworthy and helped the project achieve a holistic design quality." That was Thank you for this. And our last honor award today is for Urban Detour by Molly Lynn and Darnell Zamora from the University of Houston. Juror Audrey Maxwell said, "Part art installation, infrastructure, and architecture, this proposed intervention was as aesthetically pleasing as it was functional. It was a compelling study in how simple materials can be utilized to form a variety of interesting spatial experiences in the often neglected in-between spaces of an urban environment." And for everybody keeping score, that's 3 awards from University of Houston this year, and they have been getting more and more awards every year. So something really good is going on down there. If you haven't seen them yet. And now I'd like to introduce Jamie Wallace to present the Professional Design Awards.
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Jamie Wallace. I'm committee chair of the 2024 Fort Worth AIA Design Awards, and I'm here to announce this year's winners. As the slideshows progress for each award winner today, I'll be reading a summary of the jurors' comments about the projects. This year we had 3 wonderful jurors join us for the review process: Jean-Pierre Trau, Reese Rowland, and Rebecca Rudolph. They all spent the entire day with us deliberating over the many entries this year, choosing the best, in their opinions, to award this year. You will see merit awards, community impact awards throughout the selections. Brandon did a great job of describing to us what each award category means, so I won't repeat that. This year's Studio Awards. Excuse me. First up for Merit Award, Studio Award Project, which is our unbuilt category, is Abanya Shaw Architecture, Project 4848. Here to receive the award today is Greg Abanyas and Bart Shaw. This project is successful in how it optimizes the site and existing building while creating unique indoor-outdoor spaces that integrate natural light. At the entry, the original structure is extended and unexpected elements are added to engage the street. The architects create something new while staying true to the original language of the building. Next in our Studio Award category is the Fort Worth Botanic Garden and Family Garden by architect Bennett Partners. Here to accept the award today is Michael Bennett. We were impressed by the integration with the landscape and the siding. The building is positioned to help disguise an existing retaining wall, and the covered exterior circulation allows the landscape program to flow through the building. There's a simple use of Texas vernacular materials that blend seamlessly with the Botanic Gardens. The human scale of the building feels friendly and welcoming. We imagine that children and families would feel comfortable spending time there. Next is our Built category for Design Awards. And the first Merit Award goes to the Conservatory by Jeff Garnett Architecture. Here to accept the award is Jeff Garnett. We really enjoyed this project for its humble approach. It has very elegant, restrained solutions that are detail-oriented, and the design language is carried throughout. The use of daylight and views, the materiality, all bring a calmness to the architecture that ties it well to the site. There is an expression of structure that speaks to the Texas vernacular, and the placement of the humble forms scattered on the landscape is really strong. All right, next Merit Award is Deepdale Residence by Abanyas Shaw Architecture. And here to accept the award is Greg Abanyas, Bart Shaw, along with their clients, Elliot and Patty Garsick. There's a thoughtful organization to the site placement with the 3 bars and their 3 different uses. The forms reach out into the landscape, and hints of nature grow into the space, obscuring the overall scale as one approaches the house. We applaud the sequence of movement, how the experiences unfold as you move through the space, and the sense of discovery in the details, like the beautiful filigree of tubes hinting at the piano. This project is Miesian in quality, with a very clear use of spaces, expression of structure, and clean planes. Next, in our Merit Award category, is Pella Showroom Frisco by Abanya Shaw Architecture. Here to accept the award is Bart Shaw and client Jamie Ogle, owner and president of Pella Windows and Doors, Dallas-Fort Worth. The jurors stated, "We thought it was a very nice, simple solution. The branding integration is well done. The architects figured out a way to get the Pella colors into the space while using a restrained palette throughout, and everything from sound attenuation to product display to giving a sense of height and visual interest. Beautiful details and moments come together to create a space that is likely quite memorable for customers to come to the showroom." Next up, Merit Award, Sugarman's, Abanya Shaw Architecture. Here to accept the award is Bart Shaw. Come back up. What really struck us was the elevated approach to such a tight, narrow space in which the architect chose to focus on 2 design moments. Routed plywood elements run along the wall that create a bench that become a sculptural moment within itself, and backlit steel panels with a pattern of holes like falling sugar. They took the raw materials of plywood and steel and elevated them with concept, joinery, and lighting. It becomes a very sculptural and memorable space. And next we have Thompson's Bookstore by Bennett Partners. Here to accept the award is Brandon Burns. Come on up, Brandon. We appreciated this project for its successful rehabilitation and restoration of a historical building within, excuse me, I need to drink water. We appreciate this project for its successful rehabilitation and restoration of a historical building with the integration of the Thompson Bookstore motif, a previous beloved tenant. The architects respect the original structure, but make it their own by telling a different story at every level of the building. Each floor, the design concept and experience changes, including a visual brightening as you move up. The interior spaces have a lot of character and sensibility to original materials, with new textures thoughtfully combined with the old. The next award category is Community Impact. It's a relatively new award category to our Design Awards program. I think last year, right, Alicia, was our first year to kick off this project, and it's really to recognize projects that have some positive impact on the community that can be expressed not only through design, but through the community itself. And so this year's award winner is Cohen Place by Bennett Partners, and here to accept the award is Brandon Burns. The architects did a lot within a very small budget. The space feels nicely considered. There's double height, there's natural light, the lighting design is well thought out, and it feels like a nice place to live. From a community engagement standpoint, the residents were a part of this process, and 97% returned, making this project a great success. It's not only the architecture, but it's the benefit it has for the demographic. This project gives equal footing to everyone, and that's what community impact is really about. Now we'll take a moment to recognize the 2024 Design Awards Committee. I want to thank everyone for their contribution this year. Do you guys want to stand up and be applauded? Okay. Brian, you want to come back up?
Thank you. If I can catch up. Okay, well, in conclusion, I would like to thank everybody for coming. I would like to congratulate all the recipients for the Honors Awards and give a final thank you to all of our sponsors. If you are a student award recipient or sponsor, please remain and stay up front for a networking session. And have a wonderful rest of your day. And one last statement that we're adding to this. Happy birthday, Alicia. There you go. Thank you.